for some reason, I feel like there's a trilogy in this, and my gut's kind of saying Taylor, but I rewatched the fight the other day with the man to my left, Mike Costello, and he boxed really, really well, Catterall. He really did. The way he sort of dictated the distance, the space with that lead hand, and I don't know, it was an aggressive, fast start from Taylor. He'll have to do something similar. Yeah, my gut's saying we're going to get a better performance from Taylor, and selfishly, Taylor wins, we get a trilogy, and that's what I would love to see. So yeah, I'll go just 51% Taylor.
I really believe Jack Catterall's going to stop him. But I think the extra few weeks will help Josh Taylor. And I think Jack wins a decision.
I think first time Taylor underestimated Catterall. And he won't underestimate him this time. But also, I think he's got a lot more miles on the clock now. You know, been active, don't know where his appetite with the game really is now either. And also, all things, even all that stuff aside, Catterall just might have his number. He's awkward, Jack Catterall. You know, he's got that shoulder. He's crafty. He's a good boxer. Don't know. It's a great fight. There's more spice and needle in this one because obviously what happened last time and everything that's been said since. So I think it's a fight I think the boxing fans are really looking forward to.
I think maybe initially the first couple of rounds, both fighters might try something different because, you know, it's a different fight. And as Jack said just today, this is the 13th round. Once they've had that feeling out process, generally a rematch starts off a bit quicker. I don't buy into this narrative about Josh Taylor not being the fighter he was because he just lost to Teofimo Lopez, who's a phenomenal fighter. And in my eyes, Jack Catterall's a phenomenal fighter. So just because people believe that Jack beat him and you know he has a loss to Teofimo doesn't mean that he's finished. So and we not by any stretch of the imagination can we ever think that, because we have to go into a camp taking for the best version of Josh Taylor he is, and then we'll go in and do the best job that we can do.
I think Jack's caught Josh at the wrong time. He's come off his first defeat. There's no pressure there. He underperformed in the first fight. A lot of people are writing him off now, and I think all the pressure, you know, a lot of shouting and blabbering. There's a lot of pressure on Jack Catterall, and Josh can just go out and beat Josh Taylor and perform and get the job done nicely too. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, you know, my opinion was Catterall won the first fight. You know, I think me as a fan as well, it's nice to see them. They've got the fight back on. And you know, I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, it's a good one.
Who wins this one?
I think Catterall.
I only see a Jack Catterall victory. Whatever Taylor's game plan, I believe that Catterall has an answer to him. I really do. And it's not just having confidence in your fighter. Of course you have confidence in all your fighters, and sometimes fighters lose. That's the simple fact of it, as you know, and people watching this know. But I believe he's got his number. Genuinely, and that's not to demean what Josh Taylor's achieved. A phenomenal fighter, and you know, Adoth Macap. I've said that a few times. Adoth Macap. It's the genuine. You know, you got to tip and acknowledge, you know, the greatness of what he is or what he was, and but some fighters have your number. Jack Catterall has Josh Taylor's number. And we believed it 2 years ago, and I believe it now.
I genuinely don't know, because Jack's saying that he's going to go out looking to bang him out and things. I don't know if I buy into that, because Jack's a very, very clever boxer, a really, really thoughtful, intelligent operator who likes to walk you onto shots, but I've not seen him so far take many risks in fights. Not that I can think of. I may be wrong. I'm not saying that he hasn't, but I'm just saying that from what I remember him and the fights that I've seen, he's a man that doesn't take the risks as such. Josh Taylor, I thought he looked really bad. is fighting a top level against Lopez, who switched on, so it's different. So what do you take from that? As in, is it because Lopez is that good and he was so much better than Taylor, and Taylor at his best and everything? But I don't think that's Taylor at his best. I'm this making 140 business. That's, for me, that's kind of like in a fight like this where your opponent did deal with you. You know, Catterall, without that, I can't see any way that Catterall didn't win the fight. Plus, there was a knockdown and point deducted, I think, as well. I just can't see any way that you can make that fight for Taylor. But that's by the by. But going into a fight where somebody stylistically had your number on that night, when it's quite common knowledge, he's looked like shit on the scales for so many fights. You know, he's a big unit. So he's also older now. You know, obviously he had the Lopez fight, and I don't know if they're alluding that he had a leg injury or something that was a cause of that. If that's the case, then okay, maybe. But he didn't look as strong and able to, as resilient as what we know Josh Taylor to be. Let's not forget, this is a guy that took Prograis bombs as well. Do you know what I mean? He's got a good chin. He's a quality fighter. To go into that fight knowing that you're going to be depleted at that weight, I don't care if you've got many weeks out there and you know you're on it now and whatever. You're still not going to be at your best at 140. I think that's I don't know what the thought behind that is, other than to say, listen, when I beat you, I don't want you having any excuses, because if he does go in there and beat Catterall and turn this around, that's a hell of a win. Because I don't care what they say, you know, I've seen enough of Taylor on the scales at 140 to know that as he's getting older, that's going to be a big battle for him. Now, what you got to remember is in Josh Taylor, he's been written off by a lot of people. Some I can have, and maybe what I'm saying is handicapping himself with the weight. But you've got to remember, this is a guy that when he was coming through, we was looking at how many fights and he's fighting him, and you look at him, the fights that he's having and going through the levels so early in his career, and then undisputed champion. What was it, 15 fights or something like that? 15, 16 fights, undisputed champion. Mate, that is some going. This is you don't become undisputed if you're just a good fighter. You've got to be special. And he's a special fighter. Now, granted, the last couple of fights, he hasn't looked great. If that version of Josh Taylor gets in with Catterall, then I can't see a different outcome. If these great fighters and special fighters, they can turn back the clock sometimes. You know, there's one fight in him where, you know, everyone's writing him off and he's got no chance. You know, he's done. He's not the man they used to be. And turn the clock back, and then you see him, and it's like, whoa, didn't expect that. You know, and if we can get that sort of performance with Josh Taylor, if he can pull that out of the bag for him, we're in for a great night, because then I don't know who wins the fight. You know, I'm excited for it. I think it's a good fight. It's a really good fight. I think the build-up's going to be really good. I think, because I do think Kelly's. I keep saying Kelly. What I keep saying Kelly. I do think Taylor is going to look to be a little bit more intelligent in this fight than it was last time. Just kept doing the same thing over and over again. And he's like I said, you don't become undisputed. You don't do what he's done in such short time without being an intelligent fighter. So, regardless of all the emotions and the talk and you know, the social media back and forth and stuff, when it comes to business, I think he's going to approach it in a more intelligent manner. That's not to say that he's not going to want to put hurt on Catterall, but I do think he's going to be a lot more. There's going to be more dimensions to him than just straight ahead looking to maul and maul and brawl. I think but he's also at the same time, he's got to make sure that Catterall can't box at his own pace, because Catterall loves to box at his own pace, but he's always setting traps for you, and then he's looking to catch on the way in. So it's a really intriguing fight.
I'm all over it. I know it's probably later than it should have been, but I still think interest in it is big. I think the press conferences were great. I think the mutual loathing between the two is genuine, and that's always a good thing, because there's nothing synthetic about this. It's completely authentic. I do feel like Taylor is going to perform a lot better in the second fight than he did in the first fight, but Catterall's a really good fighter, and I find that a difficult one to pick. I would probably side with Taylor, but I find it a hard one to pick.
Again, it's a good fight where everybody wants to see it. Very good fight. I don't know Josh Taylor, but I know his team, and they're very experienced boxing men, and there's not much they don't know about the sport. So that's going to be intriguing to see how Josh Taylor comes out. I've always been a fan of Jack Catterall. I've seen him up close in one of the small hall shows a good few years ago. And I was there and I was watching him. He's very, very calm in what he does in his work. He's got Jamie Moore, Nigel Travis, again, excellent men in boxing. So it's going to be a good fight. But this time, you've got two excellent teams either at the back of the fighters. And they're both good fighters. So yeah, I'm very interested. I know there was a lot of politics last time, so it's nice to get it on and settle the score once and for all.
Listen, I'm just nice and relaxed. I'm emotionally detached for this fight. It's like it's another day at the office for me. He's emotionally attached. He's riled up. He's the one that's losing his head. I'm fine. I just know that I turn up fine, concentrating, and I turn up and the fight's mine. Obviously it's got its challenges and his obstacles in the way. And with the way he fights and stuff, so yeah, we'll come with our smart game plan and execute on the night. And yeah, I'm nice and relaxed about it. It's the way I am most of the time, So I'm fine. It's just another day at the office for me.
I fancy. Well, you know what? I thought the first time Taylor was maybe a slight favourite, and Jack fought the fight of his life. I was devastated for Jack. I've known Jack, a few years, and he trains with Jamie. Jamie Moore, my pal, and we're all family out here in Manchester and all that. So I was devastated, to have an opportunity that Jack did to have all the belts. You know what I mean? And then he didn't get the decision. And there could be one thing, Taylor could have had a stinker, and Jack's had the best night of his life. There, that could be it. Or Jack is a lot better fighter than we knew. We knew Jack was a quality fighter, but I think he blown us all away with his performance last time. So I mean, if that's the case, Jack could go out and do the same again. I hope he goes out and does the same again. To be honest with you, he knows in his mind and his heart that he got the better of him last time, and he's just got to go out there and believe in himself that he can do the same. And if he does that, I said he's got a great chance of doing it, but sod's law, sometimes it doesn't work out that night, does it? You never know. Jack fought the fight of his life that night and didn't get the fight, but Josh Taylor might fight the fight of his life, come the rematch. So it's one of them. I would say it's a 50-50, but I'm no disrespect to Josh Taylor. I've met him and seen him loads of times. Lovely, cracking kid, but I'm in Team Catterall. I hope Jack does it.
I agree with Eddie. It's a throwback fight. It's a fight I'll watch, and believe it or not, I don't watch that much boxing live outside of ours. I'll pick them because I watch so much boxing all year. So I normally catch up on planes or trains or automobiles. On my iPad, I've got it all downloaded, and I'll catch up. Sometimes it takes me 2 weeks later to watch it, but I will watch that fight live. It gets to me, those sort of fights, they do it for me. It's like this Friday as well. I'd watch that if that weren't my show. It's those sort of, ones that there's a needle, that it gives you that feeling of a row, Who
do you think comes on top in that row?
I've got to go with my man Josh. We've got a lot of history, and I think he's fantastic. When he's on form, he's unstoppable. It's a big word to use, unstoppable, but he's one menace. Everything is nasty, vicious. he's got to get that grip back, you know, or else it will be a tough time night for him. But I know he can do it. Sam looks like a fantastic boxer as well. I've got to say, I didn't think that much of Catterall till that fight, and he really impressed me. And I think he's learning as well. So the question will be how much he's learned, of course, but I've got to go with my man Josh. We do have big history together.
Yeah, it's a different fight. You look at the landscape, it was 2 years ago. We've both aged 2 years. I believe he's aged worse than I have. I feel like I'm getting better with every fight. He's coming off a loss. That being said, I do prepare for the best version of him. But ultimately, I go in there and expect to win, and I put that pressure on myself to win.
Look, I just hope the best man wins. I hope both guys get paid well. Both guys come out of the fight healthy. They're friends of mine, and I just hope we see, you know, whoever deserves to win the fight wins the fight.
One question: who do you think would have learnt the most from the first fight?
I think probably Josh Taylor. I think there's a chance he may have overlooked Jack. I knew it was going to be a difficult fight for both guys, but Josh had fought at a higher level than Jack Catterall had ever had to fight at before, and I think he maybe overlooked him. I think you have to give Josh all the credit in the world for doing the fight at 140. I think it would have been easy to make that fight at 142, 143. So you have to commend him for that. But I think, yeah, who's learned the most? I'd say Josh probably.